Hi, my name's Matt Caldwell. You may remember me from such works as Soci 437 or Soci 210. I'd like to begin with a fact, a simple but shocking fact. Climate change is real.
Gee willikers, sir! What's climate change?
Haha, well little Timmy and Billy, let me tell you. In accordance to marine biologist Rachel Carson, humans have a powerful and often negative lasting effect on the natural world.
Who's Rachel Carson? And what does she mean?
Rachel Carson is the author of The Silent Spring, a book that contends, through human innovations, like pesticides, we are degrading our ecosystems. The balance of nature is built on the interrelationship of humans and their environment. Therefore, it's up to you to change this sobering fact, and to make sure our youth, like little Timmy here, don't grow up without any forests. Today we begin the news with President Ronald Reagan's invalidating remark of the Global 2000 report, commissioned by the Carter presidency in 1977.
Yes, Tom. Today, President Reagan stated the Global 2000 report presents a pessimistic view of the future environmental landscape. To refresh your memory, the report states, if present trends continue, the world in 2000 will be more crowded and more vulnerable to disruption. It stresses serious warnings involving population, resources, and the environment.
A lot of environmental scientists consider this a big setback in climate change awareness. With that, we'll take it to the streets with our field reporter to gain insight on the attitudes of the average person in regards to the news.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. We're live here asking people for their opinion of President Reagan's remark on the Global 2000 report. Hey, you, over there. Do you have a minute to talk to us on Channel 8 News, the Ocho?
Yeah, anything for the Ocho.
Fantastic. Have you heard of President Reagan's statement regarding the Global 2000 report?
Yes, I have.
Any thoughts?
Well, if President Reagan isn't worried about it, then neither am I.
Yeah. I'll believe climate change when I see it. Sounds like communist propaganda to me.
I think he's totally wrong, man. That's not right. The current trend says the world will likely heat up at least 2 degrees Celsius by the start of the 21st century. He's thinking backwards. The U.S. National Academy of Sciences and the EPA both have come out with reports emphasizing the importance of environmental protection for years now. Look at the famine in Ethiopia right now. People are dying because of drought. What happens when the drought comes here, man?
And there you have it. It seems most people aren't too worried about climate change. Tom, John, back to you.
And welcome back to The Tonight Show with Duke DeKind.
Our next guest is a renowned environmentalist, here today to discuss breakthroughs in the field of environmentalist research. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Jim Richards. Thanks for coming in today, Jim.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
So, Dr. Richards, what specific issues will you be addressing today?
Well, Duke, I'm here to talk about how modern advancements in technology and research have unified scientists in regard to climate change evidence. The consensus now is that the human-environment relationship is paramount to the balance of the natural world. The prolonged trend of consumption and waste has been emitting unsustainable amounts of greenhouse gases, in which we are now seeing a depletion of our ozone layer. As well as the depletion, we're seeing sea levels rise with ice melting in the Arctic. These discoveries have been attributed to technological advancements that have allowed us to observe these changes. For example, experts can now view trends such as circulations of ocean currents in order to predict natural disasters.
And to further that note, we have an exclusive interview with expert data analyst Barney Riggins.
The development of computers affects many fields, including the calculation of radiation transfer in the atmosphere, and makes it possible to model weather processes. Improvements of infrared instrumentation allow very precise measurements of atmospheric CO2.
Quite the character, that Barney. Dr. Richards, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. Now with the unification of research, it's led to global powers converging to address global warming by reducing greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere to a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate.
Awesome. I think we have a question from the audience.
Yeah. They've been talking about global warming since the 60s. Doesn't feel any warmer to me. Why should I believe you?
Well, it's up to you to choose whether you believe it or not. All environmentalists can do is present the current evidence that predicts change. Environmental science suggests that there is a tipping point. If we continue, we'll reach a point of no return. If you're waiting to personally feel the effects of climate change, it'll likely be too late.
Although we had a lot of fun parroting popular forms of Western media across the decades, we aim to address quite a serious issue. Climate change and environmental degradation are pressing issues in society, and have been for many years. Scientists, like Rachel Carson, have warned us of its potentially catastrophic effects since the late 50s, and yet, as time has passed, we've continued to ignore their forewarnings. Through systematic ignorance and the belittling of the environmental landscape, we've allowed ourselves to reach a pivotal point in regards to the planet's sustainability. As such, our project attempted to address the social construction of climate change denial through the medium of mass media. Moreover, we sought to make sense of the social attitudes that have led us to this point in time.
Throughout the video, we highlighted what we believe to be crucial moments in environmentalist history. In the early 60s, Rachel Carson produced The Silent Spring, a pioneering book in environmentalism, which addressed the human-nature relationship and its effects to the balance of the natural world. This sort of renaissance of environmentalism marked the beginning of the scientific exploration into climate change and its prevalence in societal discourse. As the acceleration of corporate growth and human consumption continued through the 80s, so did the counter-movements against climate change. These campaigns of denial from some cultural elites created a societal blanket which many used to cover the ugly truth of climate change, despite scientific evidence and the resistance from the minority. It wasn't until the late 1990s and the early 2000s that, through advancements in technology, the environmentalist debate began regaining mainstream traction.
These years of denial consequently caused society to dig itself deeper and deeper into the hole of environmental crises. However, this isn't to say all is totally bleak within contemporary society. As mentioned prior, we stand at a crucial turning point in environmental studies. Through the unification, activism, and mobilization of individual actors, we can make a push to resist the upward sloping trend of environmental degradation. In the words of George Santayana, those who cannot learn from our history are condemned to repeat it. So please, if you like this video, share it with others and aid in the awareness of environmentalism. Thank you very much for your time.